Hi guys, hello, hello. We should be live now. I'm just gonna open my webcam. It will take just 1 minute. Sorry about this, guys. I was just outside walking and um, now I've just got back, so need to get my equipment set up. Okay. Let's have a look. Can you see me clearly? We'll have a look at the live stream. Just checking on my Huobi app right now. Okay, it looks good. Hi guys. Say something in the chat. Say something in the chat if you can hear me. We have 2.3k viewers right now. Hoping to get a few more, obviously. So before you do anything, obviously give me a follow on Twitter. Let's see. Give me a follow on Twitter. How do I use this? Okay, so my handle is cryptoslawy. You can search for yeah, you search that Twitter handle. Give me a follow on Twitter. I have 23k followers now, doing quite well. Hoping to reach at least 30k in June because it's going to be a bullish June, guys. It's going to be a very nice June coming on. And let's get right into the markets. Where did I get this chart from? Oh, right, yeah. So this chart, I think I did it a few days ago. It's a similar chart to the one we were looking at in our last stream, the one with the fractal. So a fractal is when, like market psychology, right? The market participants are people running human OS 1, right? So these people, we're retail traders, and we have the same brain. Our brain is made of proteins, right? Proteins and amino acids. Wait, amino acids are pretty much proteins. Proteins and fats, basically, our brains, and water, a lot of water. So we basically have we're made of the same kind of material. Obviously, we're gonna act similarly, no matter your skin color. If you're mixed like me, if you're fully Asian, if you're fully Caucasian, if you're fully black, we're all the same, right? So whatever you do, other people could be doing the same. People act the same way under the same circumstances. People act greedy when the prices are up. People act scared when the prices are down. So this is why we have fractals in markets. So given the same conditions, market conditions, like after a big drop or a big rise, we can see some patterns that usually repeat themselves. So these are called fractals. Let me get my fractal chart out. So just to review this chart, and you can see here, I have my Twitter handle posted here. So you could give me a quick follow on Twitter. Yeah, so follow me on Twitter. Most of my posts are in Chinese, but that doesn't matter because you have the translate button you can press, and that gives you the option to translate it to your preferred language. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. I post daily charts of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Yeah, some long-term predictions. I like making predictions. I'm a prediction-based trader, no doubt about it. And there's no shame in that because predictions aid my trading, give me a trading edge, really, because it tells me when I should be doing something as opposed to something else. So that's my rationale on prediction trading. So right now, we're forming this fractal. I think we talked about this last week, but you know, it doesn't hurt to talk about it again. Um, we still have a leg to go up, and I do believe this will happen in sometime in June, maybe June 15th to June 20th is when Bitcoin will reach 35K. 35K is a midterm target for Bitcoin, and I do believe we're going to go down much further after 35K. I think the low will be in, according to this chart, the low will be in around July the 20th. So June the 20th, we get to 35K. We may just go sideways there and then Bart down. So Bart Simpson, for you English speakers out there, or for those who've watched The Simpsons, you know, Bart's hair is like, I got a new haircut, but you know, like it's a kind of a square with a zigzag on top. Um, so I do believe we're gonna go up there and Bart down a bit like over here. This is kind of a Bart. This is more of a Bart. If you look here, it's a sharp rise followed by choppy price action and a sharp decline. So this is what we call a Bart. If you get the Bart Simpson PNG, you could just slam it right there and it will look perfectly in place. Okay, so I do believe we're gonna Bart from down from 35K. This is all prediction based, by the way. You don't need to take me too seriously, but I think that I don't think you need to take the time stamps I'm giving too seriously, but you could use the levels I'm giving you. So 35K is a good level to short, not financial advice. Obviously, crypto markets are risky, Ethereum is risky, trading is risky, trade at your own risk. Let's get that out there. Yeah. So from about here, I think a lot of people will get long. One main reason is us pumping through this red resistance line, and I think that's quite important for the market to do, because if it doesn't do that, there aren't enough market participants. We can see here the choppy price action has worn out a lot of market participants. We can go down to a shorter time frame and you can see the choppy price action gets more and more choppy. You know, right here you can see some clear waves. We have an ABC upwards, ABC downwards, ABC upwards, ABC downwards, and then a rise. And here you can't really identify the waves anymore. It's just an up, a diamond top, and then a down, a diamond bottom, a top, and then another diamond top if you go on a hourly time frame, and then we're down again. And today has been just up and down all the time. So we can see that the liquidity has really been worn out by this range. And I do believe most people, well, a lot of participants in this market have lost money, in fact, sadly. Um, Although the price has slightly gone up since May the 13th, it's gone up slightly, right? We can see the highs are getting higher, the lows are getting higher too. So this is what we call higher lows and higher highs. So that indicates an uptrend. So now we're in a technical uptrend, but it's just really slight, so you can't really feel it, which is totally normal, guys. It's totally normal. It's just really choppy. It's really still sideways. That's the title of today's live stream. still sideways. We're in fact still sideways. We're still in the same range as exactly a month ago, right? Exactly a month ago, we started from, yeah, May the 10th. So tomorrow will mark the 30-day point of this range. And judging by this trend line here, the red trend line, we're getting really close to it. So I do believe we're actually quite close to the end of this choppy price action. Actually, not the end of the choppy price action. I would say the end of the sideways price action. So I do believe we're going to move up, but the markets are still going to be choppy, very choppy. So the next move I'm expecting is some kind of pump to maybe 32 or 33K, and then a pullback to the red trend line, and then another big pump that will get people super excited at 35K, because at 35K a bunch of people will think we're going to 40K. So it's just how people act. Although they don't say it right now, but when you're in the trade, when you're in the markets, when you're looking at the charts, you can easily change your mind. So that's why it's important to save a chart that you've made when you were out of the markets. Meaning predictions, usually, I've noticed over the years, usually my first prediction is the most accurate. And if I review my prediction in some way, it's not as accurate as the first one. So generally, that's because when you do your first prediction, the price hasn't reached that level yet, and you're not swept into the market emotions. You're not affected by the emotions of the market in the time being. So if you make any adjustments to your prediction as time goes on, that's because you've been affected by some certain market conditions, possibly psychologically, and that's why you are changing your prediction. So I would, for those of you looking to make trades or predictions, stick to your original plan. That would be my advice. Wait. Yeah, so I'd say stick to your original plan. And I still believe we're gonna see a lot of chop. I mean, this chop is pretty normal if you look at it on the 4 hour time frame. But if you don't really look at charts, you feel as though we've just been at the 30K range for forever, guys, forever. So it's a difficult market to trade for sure, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible because, I mean, every time the market or the price pulls back to this level here, I mean, obviously you can't really include that sharp decline there, but here we can clearly see there's some kind of support level here. You see this line, and it's supporting the whole structure, right? So if we can also draw another line here. So this is called a rising wedge, and rising wedges usually drop down, but too many people know this. If you look at any trading advice or like chart pattern analysis website, they're going to tell you a rising wedge points to an immediate downtrend. But what can happen, according to my experience, is we pump through the rising wedge and then drop down. So this is called a fake out. So what I think we'll do is we'll still follow this rising wedge, but we'll pump through it, get to maybe 33K, retrace, and then we're gonna pump right through the top of it, and then form some kind of sideways price action or it could be a diamond top, you know, like a diamond or a rectangle with the price doing something like this and then dropping down. Sorry for my ugly squiggles, but yeah, you know, I wasn't born an artist. So here, I think, yeah, this is the first time I've tried putting this wedge on the chart, and it really looks quite good. I think I'll stick with it. I think this is the chart pattern we're actually looking at right here. It's definitely something that will get the bears really excited that we're just going to drop down from here. They're going to call this a bearish, either bearish wedge or bear flag, right? It's a bear flag because here we see it looks like a flag, but like the whole thing is pointing down. But for those looking at it as a rising wedge, that's also a bearish pattern. So lots of people are short here. If you look at the comments on my Twitter, if you look at other comments in other groups, most people are bearish at this level. They don't believe we're going to go up. But, you know, if we pump through 33K, it will get people excited. So I think that's what this chart will do. It will pump us through 33K above the rising wedge, where it will go sideways for a week. I think that will be a week. A week of sideways above 34K. And that's where most people will go long. And that's where I will be likely going short. Let's have a look. So 17 minutes into the stream, let's have a look how many viewers we have. Okay, hi. Hello, hello. Yeah, so same story with Ethereum. Ethereum is just slightly weaker. And I brought up this chart this morning. I think it is something to look forward to. Ethereum really likes to form this kind of descending triangle pattern and then pump right back up. Just like here, it did a similar kind of thing. This, where was it? Yeah, here, that was the first time it did it. This was also quite a bearish pattern, because if you're a bear and if you look at this, you'll call this a bearish pennant, because it's a drop with a triangle attached to it. And if you're a bear, you will have a bearish bias, and you'd be calling that a bearish pennant. But in fact, it unwound to be an ABC correction. And it's a really, really classic ABC correction, that is. So right here, I think Ethereum is at quite a cheap level. So even if it drops from here, you wouldn't be losing any large amounts of money for very long. So I'd say it's a great place to buy spot Ethereum for a potential green June. Okay, so in June, I do believe the main trend is going to be a bounce. And after this bounce, it's quite risky. It's quite risky because after this bounce, it's totally possible for us to tumble down all the way to 1,400 or 1,200. So from here, if you put a gun against my head and wanted me to choose a position, I would go long, and my stop loss would be below 1,400, because it is still possible for us to drop to 1,590, but it's like really, really unlikely at this point. I think the chart is only making this on Ethereum because Ethereum BTC has dropped. But if you're looking, what is that? Oh, okay, it's Luna. Sorry. I just saw some chart with plus 20%. Got a bit excited there. Sorry about that, guys. So here, it looks as though we have a descending triangle, which is in fact a bearish pattern, but we're really low. We're at a relatively low point on the chart, judging by this descending wedge. So I don't think it is. There is a high probability of it even dropping below 1,700. That's my first thought. My second thought would be the reason why we're forming this bearish chart pattern is in fact because Ethereum BTC is going down. But I do believe we are going up right now. We're actually just pumping through the resistance as we speak. So I think Ethereum is really going to stay quite strong from now on. You can see Ethereum is pumping through this resistance. There's obviously another one right here, but it looks quite good because this is what we call a tweezer bottom. Tweezer meaning, you know, like the squeezy metal tools. And right here you can see Ethereum BTC is pumping, and we're almost pumping through back above 0.06. So in the midterm, meaning within June, I believe we're going to go to 0.068. That's my target for ETH BTC. So that's my target for the ratio. So that means that Ethereum should gain quite a lot of traction, gain quite a lot of ground against Bitcoin. So my idea is you can be heavy Ethereum and light Bitcoin as of the moment, because 0.058 is really a strong support for ETH BTC, and I think Ethereum, no matter what Bitcoin does, Ethereum from now on should be slightly stronger than Bitcoin. And I would choose to offload my Ethereum, dump my Ethereum when Ethereum reaches 0.068. So I think that's quite a good plan. That's quite a good plan. Sounds good, guys? So yeah, stick to that plan. Stick to that plan. Okay. What else should we look at? Just gonna check the chat. Someone says 米哥牛逼. Thank you for your support. Thank you. So let's have a look. Ethereum, we just had a look at Ethereum. Wow, is Zcash doing quite well? Wait, okay, that chart was a bit strange. Why is Coinbase Zcash so expensive and Binance Zcash is so cheap? I mean, there's like a 3% spread right there. So, quick recap on Zcash. Zcash rose to 219 as expected and dropped to 69 as expected. This was our trade last time. We believed it would go from 136 to 219 and then drop to 69, and it did exactly that miraculously. And I do believe in the midterm we're actually seeing an Adam and Eve's pattern here. So an Adam and Eve's pattern is basically a double bottom with a sharp V-shaped bottom for the first bottom and a rounded bottom for the second bottom. So this is what we call an Adam and Eve's bottom. Sounds a bit naughty, but you know, it's just how traders are. And I think in the midterm we're looking at a good 50% gain on Zcash. So I'm bullish Zcash in the midterm. Zcash on the long term, I mean, Zcash is one of the the first projects to use ZK technology. So I think if we get a ZK summer or ZK autumn, Zcash will do quite well. So if we're looking at the long-term chart, it is totally possible that this is just a big correction and we're up for an impulse wave up. So in the long term, I mean, Zcash could potentially, uh, I don't think it will go to 800 this year, but it's possible for it to go beyond the previous high. I think that's still possible. So I think a pump to maybe 145, a drop in July to back to 80, the 80, 70 or 80 level. And then from there, we may see another bounce, a climb. And then if we see a ZK summer or a ZK autumn, it's totally possible that we go up to we could draw this as a big ABC pattern from the bottom, right? So the bottom is 69, the top if we put it at 145, and then the next bottom if it's at like 87 or something. I think the next the fib ratios will give us an answer, will they? So the first target for this would be 180. 180 corresponds with this trend line here. So there's some confluence here, 180 to 200. There's a lot of resistance there. So I think this this autumn, we'll be seeing Zcash doing quite well. I'm bullish on Zcash coming into autumn. So the other resistance would be around 288, which is close to the 0.786 fib. Oh wait, but that's not the right level, is it? So let's put it up there and the bottom at 69 and see what that gives us. Oh, that's way better. That is way better, guys. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense actually. So the first level we're looking at is 180. The second level we're looking at is the 0.618 at 255. So it's possible that Zcash could be going to $255 or even further. I mean, it could go to the 2, right? If we go to the 2, that's just beyond the previous high, which would give us a juicy a pump through the previous high, getting people uber excited, and we'll trap them and we'll shoot it down to 0. Just kidding, just kidding. It's not going to go down to 0, but you know, we'll probably be hitting the low. I'd say, I mean, if it goes to the 0.618, that's potentially what we call a bullish Gartney, okay. So it's a harmonic pattern. We'll have a look at that. So let's see what this retracement is. Is this retracement the 0.786? If it is, well, that's really, really cool. Okay, let me see. Wow, that's quite amazing. So this support here, in fact, is the 0.786. So if we bounce to the 0.618, which is at, where is that? Wait. Shit. Let's see. From 71. Yeah, so 250. So 250 is a level. that it's possible that we reach, and from there, it's highly likely that we'll be going down from there, maybe from 250 all the way down to like 30 or 40. I think that will be a good target for Zcash next year, next May. So long term, I'm looking at something like this. I'll just take a screenshot to send in my Telegram group. I have a Telegram group, by the way, so it's be nice if you could all join. Just say something in the Telegram group. Zcash. Zcash. Okay, it will send after the live stream because my my network doesn't support this. Okay. Zcash going to how are we doing in the chat? Okay, so some other coins to look out for. I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum are just going like sideways like idiots, right? Uh, in the meantime, what do we do? So there are a few takeaways from this sideways price action. The first takeaway would be the trend usually goes sideways when we're at a big round number, right? So the previous choppy action was above and below the 40K mark. So it was roughly $8,000, $7,000 below, because the low point was 33K. And it was $8,000 above. So it's pretty much a range of $15,000. And you can see every time it gets back to the 40K mark, it does a bit of, like it uses it as support or resistance. So here we dump below it, and then we use it as resistance, and then we go above it, and then we go below it, and it's kind of the midline, right? And even on the larger time frame, 40K does the same thing to the chart. You can see the first time we interacted with it was, when was this? January 2021. So that's the first time we kind of did a jitter at the 40K mark. And then we formed this kind of head and shoulders pattern or wick off distribution, whatever you want to call it, right? And then we dumped below it, used it as resistance before tearing right through it. And this was when the crypto exchanges banned Chinese users, and we used it as support. And after that, we used it as support for the December 5th low and the January 11th low. And pretty much after that, it's been the midpoint of a lot of the chop. So the reason why we're doing this chop here is because the 30K mark is here. Something else worth mentioning. Something else worth mentioning is, let's get rid of all of these thingamabobs. So here, there is the support from the previous previous lows, right? So from the January 2021 lows to the June lows, and then here we've dumped through it, but we've now found support above it. So I think that is short-term bullish. That is definitely short-term bullish. I think we'll see another pump just to wear out the selling and get the shorts liquidated, get the longs on board, and then we're gonna like dump right through it. We're gonna go below it quite further down. So it's gonna be quite a painful July. So right here, I think it's a short-term bullish. Short-term bullish meaning I'm bullish into June, I'm bearish July. July, I think, is the earliest. Late July will be the earliest we see a bottom. Early August will be the latest we see a bottom. And then by September, we should be climbing up. So there's a lot of liquidity right here. I think Bitcoin has already tapped into that liquidity. And Ethereum, in fact, hasn't even dumped through this level, right? This level of 1,700 held as support in May, and we've not dumped below it. And a lot of people are looking at this level. They're thinking, I mean, so many taps on the same support, we're obviously gonna dump through it. But I don't think so. I think we'll pump. In fact, we'll pump and then we'll dump through it. Because too many people here are looking at this chart and saying, we're just gonna dump straight away. I don't think so, to be honest. I think what we'll do here is we'll still bounce off this support, go up, and then we'll dump through it. Okay, so that should be the next part. So if we line up this this chart to the linear chart, July 20th should put us at 1,400-ish, like 1,300, 1,400. So I think that's a great level to buy in for the autumn pump. Usually the prices in summer and autumn do quite well. And then in the winter, it's a great time to offload because, you know, like people are generally lazier in the winter, less productive in the winter. They're generally more miserable in the winter. So, I mean, like charts, markets usually follow people's emotions, right? So winter is a bad time to be mentally, and I think, you know, that's why we have Christmas. That's why we have Chinese New Year. Why do these things happen in the winter? Because in the winter people are miserable. It's cold outside. People, I mean, there's less sunshine, there's less things to do. Everything looks bare, everything's kind of miserable. That is why we have these festivals. So that's a fact. And people are generally more pessimistic in the markets when the winter comes. So I'd avoid the winter. I think the winter starting from probably November all the way to March is going to be a terrible bear that will shoot us down from 50K to maybe 9K. So it should be a dramatic 70-80% drop. Some people may argue that 9K is a bit too low, but it's totally possible given the charts I've posted on my Twitter. So if you want to know more about that chart, I'd advise you to go to my Twitter and check out the chart at the top right there. Let's have a look what we're doing here in the chat. So what should you do when the markets are going sideways like this? I would sit out. I mean, if if you get a chance next time when Bitcoin or Ethereum is at a round number level, it is very good to open a grid trading algorithm. So what that does is it buys low and sells high within a given range. So you could put that range just above and below the round number. Give it a wide range, a medium range, a smaller range. Open three, right? And just see which one sticks. You can cancel the rest. I think that's good practice. But obviously, right now, I've given you the reason. I think we're too close to that trend line. Where is that? Yeah. So if we go down to the shorter time frame, I don't think we'll have much choppy price action left. Because we're really quite close to this line now. At most, I think 2 or 3 more days of chop before we pump through it. So I think that probably right now, this dip right now could be the last dip before a pump to 32K. So I'm bullish Ethereum, I'm bullish Bitcoin going into autumn, and definitely what this market does is it just kills your portfolio, right? If you're trading this market, if you're trading shitcoins, your portfolio is gonna bleed. And sadly, a lot of people have lost a lot of money on this drop. And what that does is people have the urgency to recoup their losses. By what means though? By increasing their risk. So there are a few ways of increasing risk. Going all in on some altcoin that you believe will pump 50% in a day. I mean, I've tried that before and it's worked sometimes, but it's failed a lot of the time. So it's highly risky. The second way would be to add leverage. Add 2x leverage, 5x leverage, 10x leverage until you get totally wiped out by this choppy price action. So stay off the leverage. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? We'll just wait for this price action to end, and we'll be shorting 35K. And I hope in the next episode, what is it, the 9th today, in a week that would be put us at the 16th, right? So that could be the day we reach 35K if we're lucky. So next Thursday, if we reach 35K, you must join my group, right? All of you listening out there, you must join my group if we reach 35K next week, sometime next week. So yeah, that's all for today. And it was nice talking to you guys. And we'll see you in the next one, which will be next Thursday. Stay off the leverage, guys, and stay safe out there. Don't fall for these Telegram scams. There's this Telegram scam going on. I do believe it's a scam. I don't think those allegations are real. So stay safe. Because in bear markets, people get desperate. And when people get desperate, they scam people. And they scam people when people need money the most. So that's there's a special place in hell for those people. Let's hope we get to our preferred level of 35K for shorting. And we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.